What's up, guys? It's your BibaGirrrl again. I hope you've had despite what happened last weekend, I hope you've had a pretty good week. I already made a fairly serious video, well, actually, it was serious SoundCloud, on my SoundCloud podcast, radio show, where I was talking about inspiration and talking about hope and peace, and I just wanted to touch on a couple of things from that. But anyway, if you like what I have to say, please share my things with others. I appreciate the following of my new followers. I'm saying hi, welcome. And if you like my videos, please hit the thumbs up on YouTube. Please comment on my Facebook page. Please share with your friends, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, email, text. However you can get the word out, I would greatly appreciate it. On a personal note, I'm still dealing with my Invisilign. That's why I sound kind of lispy sometimes on here. I notice when I have it in, it's really great because you don't see the spaces in my teeth as much, and it always gives the illusion that my teeth are actually straighter than they are. It's a very slow process, I'm going to tell you that much. Invisilign is, even though it's more simple than braces, it still has its challenges. There are these little balls. Now, depending on how your teeth are, you don't know how many balls are going to add to your teeth. But when you take the Invisilign out to eat, you get food caught all up in them. So it makes me very subconscious when I eat, and you never know. It also puts makes your teeth kind of come out more because of that. So with lipstick, I'm constantly, I don't know if you've noticed in my other videos, I'm constantly making this stupid face because it's much easier for me to get lipstick actually on the Invisilign. So, and as opposed to lipstick on my teeth. So that's something it makes me self-conscious about. So, and then for me, at first it was a new tray every week, and then they gave me, then after about a month and a half, then it was a new set of trays every 2 weeks. But each time I get a new tray, it's kind of like a headache kind of experience, because then it's fits tighter, and in a way it's good because your teeth are moving and they're getting straighter, okay, but it's easy to get headaches, and it's frustrating. So it's a frustrating feeling having this thing in your mouth. So you can only drink water when you have them in, and you take them out to eat anything else, and you have them in 22 hours a day. So I take them out if I'm going to have breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and then you always have to floss because you've got food stuck in the stupid. Like me, I got the round bally things all around here and all around here. So if you don't have them, like me, if I go to a get-together where food is being served, or the other day we went to a wine tasting, you're talking to people and the thing is out of your mouth, and then other people can see you got these stupid round ball. But what are these? People are always looking down at my teeth like, oh boy, that's weird. And I feel bad because if I'd seen people with those, I kind of was judgmental on them, like, well, what's going on with those teeth? I've never seen anything like that before. It just freaked me out. And I can tell sometimes people are looking at my teeth when I smile, because they don't know what's going on either, and unless you just say, hey, it looks like you've got something in unless you're friends with somebody and you know them well enough, hey, do you have something in your teeth, or you have something on your teeth, or what's going on? So it's a whole element that I was not prepared for, because at the dentist, they only showed me that those little attachments would be at the back and that nobody would see them. They didn't say that depending on how your own personal tooth situation, depending on your own personal tooth situation, that you might have these little stupid little balls on obvious places on your mouth, and when your Invisilign is out, like at meals or at wine tastings or at restaurants or happy hours, or if you happen to go to a store after you have lunch, that anybody you would talk to would look at your teeth and go, what the hell's going on? But anyway, comparatively, compared to braces and rubber bands or headgear or all that, yes, it is more discreet because it's plastic, and it is more discreet in general. So, but for anyone who's considering Invisalign, be prepared. There are those kinds of challenges. So I have no regrets, but it is an expense, and it does take time, and there are these kinds of issues. So there's that. And my back situation is getting better. I've been getting treatments in terms of chiropractor, and the electrodes that they do there, those treatments are starting to help me out a great deal. And also with massage and doing more yoga, I'm staying away from that elliptical that really messed me up. And there's an elliptical that was more of a climbing, and my body shape just is not meant to do those kinds of climbing ellipticals, and because of that I threw my back out, and that was from, I guess, a few videos ago I talked about that. So and it's also a pre-existing issue that I was born with and never was detected until I had this back pain thing from 2 months ago, and they were able to figure it out. So I'm not totally, I wouldn't be considered a dwarf, but I have some skeletal issues of a little person because I'm so compact, and over the years of trying to overcompensate for being a short stature person, I bend in ways, and I do certain things, and over the years and then a stand-up job where I was standing doing hair, doing, and I still do a few clients here and there, from even things like doing laundry, even things like reaching for something. There were certain poses that I would just do with my back, or doing certain things that over the years it wasn't good for it. So what I learned is this thing that this sports injury, and that's how it's being treated. It was first treated. I was able to find out exactly what had been going on, and there's actually more tests that are being done, and on Monday I'm going to have some more tests done, and it actually made me take better care, because today I just went to ear, nose, and throat doctor and got some meds, and for some better meds, allergy meds, and so it's just kind of, I'm going to take better care. I'm also going to do a sleep study, and I'll talk about that. So that's that. Oh, I just dropped something. There's that. I had my comb. I was going to show some hair things, but anyway, on a personal note, that's my personal update. I'm just going to show some quick little tips. Get a lot of people ask me about my hair. So one thing is that I've moved away from a lot of the sickier hairsprays. I've started to do more of more oil-based sprays, oil-based shine spray. Like, say, at one point I was using all Moroccan oil products, the actual brand Moroccan oil, but then lately, over the years, the last couple of years, I found there have been some better affordable replacements, as well as some that are on the what I would call moderate to high end, but I'm not using those all the time, and I'm using other things, so I'm kind of like using a mix. So anyway, I just wanted to give you some the rundown because I get a lot of hair questions. Um, One thing I use is Mystic Divine. It's from Sally's, Sally Beauty Supply. Mystic Divine Creations Thermal Finishing Spray. This I use after I have blow dried my hair, and I don't blow dry my hair with a brush. I actually blow dry my hair just like you saw in my last video when I did my makeup, and my hair was just like wet and just letting it air dry. When I blow dry my hair, I just get the water out all the way, and it's messy. And I will just spray this on it before I flat iron, and I flat iron each section by section. And then I will hit the ends with the Mystic Divine Hairspray, Creations Hairspray. That's also from Sally's. It's in the same line. And then I would curl the ends. So I only flat iron my hair the day that I wash it, after I've just gotten all the water out. And then I'll curl the ends with the curling iron, and I do it piece by piece, or section by section, like section some up off, and then flat iron a section, and then shines the shorter thermal spray on, spray a section, hit it with the flat iron, then take the ends, hit the ends with that hairspray, and then wrap the ends around the curling iron. Now, some people will wrap the ends all around with the flat iron, but for me, I kind of like a tighter curl on the ends just because it lasts longer. Because I can usually go, like, this is like this is the fifth day of that, from when I did that other video. So, because that was that Sunday? Yeah, that was Sunday. And then Monday, I went over it. It was the same kind of wash and go, wet look. And I kind of went over it with the blow dryer. And then I did the smoothing with the flat iron and then the curling iron, and just did section by section with those products. And then when I'm all done, after I've curled all that, and straightened it and curled it, I use the Kardashian, the black seed oil, black seed dry oil, put that in my hand, put a couple of drops in my hands, and then work all that into the curls. And then I go over it with their black seed, it's the Pure Glitz hairspray, but it's got the black seed oil in it. And then I spray everything, and then bend over, fluff everything out, and that's what I do on the first day. Now, the second day, and the third day, and the fourth day, if there's no humidity, I brush through it all in the morning, get all the tangles out, and then I have two oils that I use that are what I would call on the more affordable end. One is the Avon version of their Moroccan argan oil, and they also have a shampoo and conditioner with that of that line too. And then, but I just use the oil, and then they have a Suave Moroccan infusion. So on the second, third, and fourth day, I kind of alternate between the two, whichever is on sale. So I always have one that I'm kind of like using up, and another one that's a little newer. But I don't have to flat iron this again. I don't have to recurl it. I just work a little bit of the oil in, and then just work that in on the ends after I've brushed it and slept on it. And then if it's a kind of a day where I really want my hair to really kind of be more set, then I might hit it with hairspray. But then at that point I have some I didn't want to bring all of it because I don't have a lot of room here, but I have a Garnier just Garnier hairspray, and just their volume, kind of, it's like medium to firm hold. I really use a super firm hold on my hair because it can break off when you go to brush it. So it just depends on where I'm going. Now, if I was really going somewhere fantastic, something big, and I really wanted it to look super fresh, I would go over the ends with the curling iron and with the hairspray on the ends, and then also then go over it with the oil again. And now if you notice, I didn't put any oil up here. I would only put the oil down here to kind of fluff things up and kind of like refresh. And for one thing, it helps make the curls look shinier. It makes your hair look shinier, as well as helps to give more of a separation. So anyway, just some tips, some product tips. Sometimes I'll do my hair all up in a ponytail. Like if I'm going to the gym and I'm going to put it all up in a ponytail and my ends are looking dry, I'll take some of that oil and I'll work it through my ends at the gym. And that's my gym look. And, that way I'm always kind of like moisturizing my hair. And it also it saved my hair completely. I also take in Nature's Bounty, they have the hair, skin, and nails vitamins, as well as they also have one for women's vitamins. Both are gummies. I take those every day, and it has really saved my hair because I used to spend a lot of time with the flat iron, the round brush, and then the flat iron. And even on the second or third day, even if I didn't wash my hair, I would go over it again with the flat iron and some sections, and it was a lot of work trying to make it always look perfect all the time. And not to say that that's a good look too. Sometimes I like that look, but it's a lot to make. The second, third, fourth day. If this is a little messy, that's okay because it's meant to look messy. With that, if I start out totally smooth, the second day looks messy, or one side looks messy, then I have to make that other side match the other parts that are straight. And then third day, it's like it doesn't work. But this, I'm able to last almost a full week. Since I wash my hair, and less stress, and it doesn't get as, now of course I'm in my early 50s, so my hair doesn't get as oily as if I was a teenager. Now when I was a teenager, I did wash my hair like every day, if not every other day. So there's that to consider. I don't get the oily, greasy, and I'm not doing seriously hard cardio right now at the gym. If when I'd go to Zumba, or I was doing some other serious hard cardio where you're just sweating for an hour, you have to wash your hair after that. There's no recovery from some of those. No hairdo recovery. You just have to wash it. At that point, there's no emergency plan, backup plan for those hairdos. So anyway, I just want to send out a positive message to any of you all who are having a tough time right now. It was interesting. Who would think? I watched this movie. There's a movie called what was it? Something about the wallflower. Oh no, I forgot it. Oh my god. Secret Life of a Wallflower. Something about wallflower. I'm gonna have to look it up while I'm on the phone with you. Secret Wallflower movie. Oh, Perks. There it is. Perks of Being a Wallflower. Okay, so that movie came out in 2012, and it was on my list to see at the time. And I never got around to seeing it because 2012 was kind of a weird year for us, and I'm sure it was for many people. And it was just on my list. I kept thinking, oh, well, eventually I'm going to see it, and and I didn't really have an agenda about it. It wasn't like something I had to see right away, and it wasn't anything. It was like it wasn't anybody in it that I was like, oh, so and so's in. I gotta see this movie. But I was just sort of like I had it on our Netflix list, and then for whatever reason, there were other things would come out, so then that would get pushed down. So um, it was ended up being a really good. It's a slow moving movie. I thought it'd be more of a high school comedy, but it's more of I would say it's more of a high school drama than a comedy. But it's a very good movie. You don't have to be in high school to be in it. I just happen to really, I really like high school movies, whether they're dramas or comedies. I love movies like, um, like can't hardly wait. I love that movie. I love all the John Hughes movies. I even love some of the stuff like oh god, the Jonah Hill and the thing with the you know some of those other ones. I can't think of the names right now, but you know what I'm talking about. And American Pies, and I love all that stuff. For some reason, it's not like I'm not living in my own past. I mean, I love my life right now, but there's always something about that time period or movies about that time period that I just enjoy watching. So, um, and like whether it's even going back as far as American Graffiti or some of those things like all those the ones with the Wet Hot American Summers or the all of them. I've always been able to get something, some joy out of them, and even like some of the goofier stuff. And maybe I just really I have a good time with them. I know they're like a no brainer. So with this movie, with the 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 Wallflower movie, it really I didn't realize how much of a drama it was going to be, but the perks of being a wallflower that they ended had a couple little lessons in it about this kid who's going through some tough times, and at the end of the movie, and I'm not going to get to talk about the plot or the ending, but they do say an interesting, a very insightful line that says, "We can't choose where we come from, but we can choose where we go from there." So, I mean, then it even goes on to say, that moment when you know you are more than the sad story of your past, that moment when you know you are powerful. I was like, wow, that's a pretty good line. And I think that's a good line not only for kids to hear, but just for any of us, because there's a lot of times where, you know, real life kind of makes us not feel so powerful. Just today, I was at a doctor's office, and I can honestly say there were years where I didn't have a lot of confidence. Where if I would go into a doctor's office and if I was running late, or something happened that was out of my control, or I was trying to be on time, and either bus was late or my ride was late or something, or I thought I had filled out all the forms online, or I was supposed to, whatever. I would be like, and somebody, the receptionist would be like, well, you didn't do, and then I'd be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, and I would allow them to make me feel like, of course, I'm going to be nice back. But somehow I would let their feeling of them, like where they're like in this, like what I call a false area of authority, and making me feel like I was in the wrong. Now, maybe I might be in the wrong if I'm 5 minutes late, or I might be in the wrong if I was supposed to I thought I'd filled out all the forms online, and this was so, and she's like, oh, well, did you fill out all the forms and bring them in? I said, no, I thought filling it online was good enough, considering I had to set up an account and all this other stuff. So she's like, well, there were 3 forms you were supposed to print out, and I was like, she's like, well, you have to fill them out now. I go, okay, give them to me, I'll fill them out. And I was just like confident in my own, hey, as far as I knew, I thought I'd done it right. And believe me, I filled out more things on a questionnaire for that doctor's office than it was almost like applying for, you think I was applying for a job. So, and then she even had the nerve to say, because I took an Uber, and the Uber got me there 5 minutes late. And she's like, well, we prefer you get here 15 minutes early. And I'm like, well, if I had filled out all the forms, what would need to be here 15 minutes early? And she goes, well, considering you're 5 minutes late, now the doctor is running behind. And I go, since I book appointments, okay, I book my own appointments for my own job, my own career, and my own situation. I go, how tightly does he book his appointments? If 5 minutes of traffic is going to throw him off, and it's only 10 o'clock, really? I'm like, honey, don't throw shade at me. I was like, that's not my problem if he books himself if he chooses to book himself that tight, where a 5 minute situation is going to throw off his whole day. Now, granted, I know as a hairdresser, yes, if your first appointment is 5 minutes behind, yes, they can add another 5 minutes to the next person, and add another 5 minutes to the next person, and 5 minutes to the next person. Well, you know what? After a while of being that stressed out, I didn't book myself that tight anymore. And not only that, I'm still never, ever, if somebody's literally only 5 minutes, now if they're 15 minutes late, or 20 minutes late, or a half hour late, and it's their first time with me. I want them to feel as wonderful coming to me in my office as possible. So, I'm definitely not going to go, well, since you were 5 minutes late, right? I wasn't going to go there. I've never ever gone there with a client, especially a first client. I said to this woman, I said, well, you know what? I said, I can't control how tightly he books his appointments. That's out of my control. And I can't control if there's traffic, or I can't control if an Uber is a little late getting to me, or if we hit a lot of red lights on the way over here. I said, I'm here. And she's like, well, he doesn't know if he'll get to you. I'm like, she hadn't even left her chair to go talk to this man. And she's giving me all this attitude, okay? And I said, well, you know what? I'm here. I booked this appointment. I would like to see him. And I'm sorry that I'm 5 minutes late, but things are out of my control. And I said, that's not my problem that he books himself so tightly that my 5 minutes is gonna throw everything off. Now, what are the forms I need to fill out? I'll fill them out, and here's my insurance card. I was not going to let that lady make me feel bad about things that were out of my control. I was not going to let her or him, who wasn't even in the room, so her using using him as a power figure, I was going to allow him, or the idea of this man that I haven't even met yet, threaten me or make me feel bad about my choice or my decision or my ability. Nor was I going to allow them to make me feel I'm just standing in my own human truth. I'm not going to let that moment ruin, and I'm not going to let the whole thing ruin my whole day either. So I filled out the forms, and she said, well, he might be running a little behind now with the other people. Well, I said, he hasn't even seen me yet. I haven't thrown off his day yet because he hasn't seen me yet. If he's already running behind, then, oh well. I said, I'm here. You got some nice magazines here. I got my phone. Well, I got time. So, and she's like, oh, okay. So then I handed her, everything was fine. And he did, I did wait about 20 minutes. And then he says to me, oh, I'm sorry you had to wait. Well, obviously, I go, well, that's okay. I was 5 minutes late anyway. So obviously he was already running behind. And so maybe she was already stressed out. But whatever. That's the way they're running their office. I'm not going to let the way they run their office rule my life and take my confidence away in my situation. Yes, I try to be on time. I said, look, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to allow someone to. Now, the old me would have been like, oh God, yes, I'm so sorry. Da 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 da. I was like, I don't have the time. I don't have the patience. No, I'm not saying everybody needs to be rude or be, throw shade or be nasty. I was all handling this in the nicest way possible. But, I'm just not gonna. I just don't have time for that kind of level of craziness. I had a recent situation at another doctor's office. They said, "Let me see your insurance card," and I go, "Okay, hand them the card." And they go, "This is not my card. This is a card that you just use for prescriptions." And I go, I have used that card at every office that I've been to in the last 2 years. It's good enough for them. It should be good enough for you. It's got the ID number on it. It's got the group number on it. It's got my husband's name on it. It's got my name on it. And it's got it has prescription information on it. So what? It's got all the necessary, it's got the name of the insurance company and the address. What more else do you need? And I was just, once again, standing in that I knew what I was talking about. And I'm not going to allow those kind of moments to say, oh my God, I don't have my card. Oh my God, I forget. Call my husband crying. Oh my God, they said I didn't have my card. I'm over all that. I'm past that. I'm past being in those situations with those people and having those things get me down, or as well as having those people to get me to the point where they're taking my feeling of like confidence away, and it's the same thing when you're in school. It's the same thing when you're at work. If you know you've done a good job and you're doing the best you can, be confident in that. And, of course, there's a time and place, and you have to figure out how to talk to who you're talking to. But, and kind of have to guide that situation and be mindful of that. But, so, anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. And, we all can be powerful, but a lot of it has to do with being self-love, self-acceptance, and compassion for our own mistakes, as well as the mistakes and imperfection of others. So, if they were being a little bit more compassionate, especially in the medical field, at doctors' offices, when you're handling people who might not be feeling all that well, and then the same thing for how we're coping with our outside world and dealing with these situations that could lead to rage and anger, that lead to the craziness that can explode when somebody decides to harm other people. So if we could all just live in a loving, accepting, and compassionate world, and as well as our own self-love and self-acceptance and compassion for ourselves and forgive ourselves, then our appreciation of being able to do our jobs better and be more creative and have just a better world in general is the possibilities there, but we all have to work on it. And and just so anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. I thought that was a really amazing thing in this teen movie, that there was this little lesson at the end, and it kind of made me think about stuff, and it was like, I am more, and this is something I've seen from Elanya Van Zandt, of saying, I'm more than just that person that was bullied. I'm more than the person who survived some bad things in my childhood. I'm more than a person who survived domestic violence. I'm more than a person who felt sizeism. I'm more than a person who felt was being told that it was too short. I'm more than a person who's being told I'm too old. I'm more than that. I know I'm able to get so much done, and I'm doing some really cool things, and I'm proud of those things, and I'm moving forward from it, and I'm thriving. So it's not just about surviving, it's thriving. And um, so anyway, I just want to put that out there, and we need to all learn to thrive and deal with our own issues and take care of ourselves and take care of each other, so that if we see someone who's lost, or we see someone who's depressed, or we see someone who's starting to be filled with rage, that we help them or get them help, so that the things that happened last weekend, or the things that happened a year ago, or the things that happened 5 years ago or 15 years ago, or all the bad things that we've survived as a country in the past, I'd say 20 years, won't happen again. So anyway, I hope you have a great weekend, and safe and happy and wonderful, and be the best you can be. So bye for now. Take care. Thanks.